Well, good morning, everybody. It's me, Mitch, in the kitchen. Today, I've had a ton of suggestions from you since I got my meat grinder, and everybody is telling me good ideas and tips and tricks of things that I can do. And one of the reasons that I got this meat grinder in the first place was to try to do combinations of things. And I'm going to start out kind of simple. I'm going to take this hamburger that I ground up the other day, and everybody suggested I double grind it, so I'm going to do that. And to it, I'm going to make some burgers with some bacon, with some of this Wright's bacon. And we're going to cook it up, and we're going to see how it comes out. So I'll get a bowl here for the mixer. Like that. And we'll put, and all that stuff just stores in here. Here's the mystery plastic spacer. And in this little package are the grinding discs, and I'm going to use the fine one this time. I think if you use the coarse one, you really probably should double grind everything, but this is how I learn things. I learn by doing. So I'm going to use the coarse one this time. So we will put the blade on, put the coarse one on, rotate it until the little notch finds its place over here. There it is. Screw this on and plug it in. There we go. Cool. And I have no idea what it's like to grind bacon, but I think it'd probably be a good idea to cut it up first into smaller pieces. So let's do that. Let's cut it up here. And I think I'll take, that's probably about 2 pounds of burger. I think, let's cut this up first and see what we end up with. So, why not? Why not? Let's take and see how much ground bacon we get from this. About a half pound. All right. Okay, I think that that's actually going to be enough to mix with this much hamburger. I don't want to overdo it. So let's take this ground beef now and put it in here. And this I like this finer grind. I like the feel of the finer grind. I may, unless it's really maybe chuck or something like that the first time through, I think I may use that. But now we're gonna do the chuck again a second time through. And that, I think, is going to about do it. So let's see what we got left in here, if anything. Okay. A little bit in the auger, but not too bad. I looked down and the auger was fairly clean. So good. We got just about all of it. I'll put this in the sink and we'll wash it later. And we'll put this aside to wash this stuff later because we're done with the grinder for now. And this will come off here. And that's all there is to it. And for the time being, I will turn on my burner. And put this stuff away. Well, that wasn't too bad. And I would say there's probably 5 minutes worth of cleanup. This stuff cleans up pretty quick. So there we have it. Now in the bowl here, I've got a combination of bacon and hamburger. And if I wanted to make a little meatloaf out of this, I could add egg and pork rind crumbs to it. But I'm just going to fry it up and see what kind of taste I get out of mixing a half a pound, about 4 to 1, half a pound of bacon, 2 pounds or so of hamburger. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to stick my hand down into this and mix it all up real good. That would be the plan. And I think to accomplish that, I think a rubber glove would be, and this would be a great time for a glove, because all that fat would be very hard to remove from my fingers. So we'll do this. And I think while I'm at this, I'll sprinkle a little salt in there to get it started. So now the idea is to mix up the burger. I like the texture of this. It really spreads the fat around more evenly than that really coarse grind. I don't think when I make burger anymore that I'm going to use that coarse grind. I think, and I'll tell you after I eat it, that I'm going to use the finer grind, and maybe do a little reading up, find out about other people's experiences. But this, I got to tell you, is going to have plenty of fat in it. That's for sure. It is definitely going to have plenty of fat. And that, I think, is mixed up pretty good. It smells like bacon and beef. So what I've got in this bowl is a half a pound of pure bacon that I eat, and a couple pounds of chuck that I ground so I know exactly what's in it, and a couple shakes of Redmond's real salt, and we blended it all together, and that's great. That's great. So get rid of this. And bring you over here so you can see what I'm doing. So what we're going to do is we're going to do like I normally do, make this into a big palm-sized meatball, stick it in the pan, squish it down, and we'll do another one. I got enough here in this bowl for about 4 of these. And that sounds about right. They're probably a little better than a half a pound a piece, so four burgers, a little over a half a pound a piece. And we'll let them cook. And we will come back to see how they come out. So this relatively easy little job really didn't take a whole lot of time, and I got a few pieces to clean up, which I'll do while these things are cooking. So we'll be back. All right, I just flipped the hamburgers. And boy, they got a nice crust on them. I turned the temperature down a little bit. And now we'll cook them on this side until we get right now we're at about 100 degrees. They got a ways to go, but we'll let them cook. God, they look delicious. And we'll be back. Okay, I think they're done. 160 degrees, perfect. Boy, that sure rendered out a lot of fat. But I expected that. Damn, slippery little buggers. And we got some splatter on the range, but I expected that too. And let's check this second one. That second one could use a little more cooking, so we'll leave that in there while we taste the first one and see whether this was worth it. It was easy enough. In the 4 or 5 minutes while those burgers cooked, I managed to clean up everything over there in the rack. Just rinsed it all out, washed it with soap and water. It was very quick. So I'm pretty well done. Pretty well done. So let's, here's what we got here. I don't know if it's going to need more salt or not, but we'll see. Well, it is done inside. Texture looks pretty good. It is hot. And I really let it crust up on the outside because I kind of like burgers like that. I know you're waiting for the verdict here. Drum roll, please. They are absolutely delicious. It's a bacon burger, and if you eat cheese, which I don't, but I can't think of a better tasting burger to put some cheese on top and make a bacon cheeseburger, but not without the bacon on the top, actually ground up in with the meat. the flavor of the bacon really pops through. It really comes through, and that more than I expected it. They're very juicy. Pardon my sloppy eating. I will definitely do this again. And I will definitely make a 2 or 3 pound meatloaf like this with the pork rind crumbs, egg, and maybe some thin sliced bacon laid out over the top. I think it was a success. Wasn't hard. I love this grinder. It's great for $100. What a deal. If you want one, go to my website, oldguycarnivore.com. On the Stuff I Use page. You'll find it there. So with that, it's my first meal of the day. I'm going to go ahead and eat this. I enjoy every bite. You can take the rest of the day off and eat meat.